I love co-op games, so I thought I'll make one. How hard can it be, right? Oh my god, what was I thinking? Hi, I'm Vlad, and I already created some small games in the past, and thought I am a big boy now, so it's time for a real release on Steam. The only question was, what type of game do I want to make? And how should I make it? So, rather easy questions. Since I'm a solo dev, never did anything with networking and never created puzzles or stories, I thought it's the perfect time to create a big title which would be a story-driven co-op puzzle game. Hehe. Games like Portal or We Were Here were our main inspirations for this endeavor. Especially the asynchronous gameplay of We Were Here was very intriguing. One player is in a room with all the solutions for puzzles, while the other one is taking a journey through an unknown place. The cool thing is that you can basically replay it just by reversing the roles of the players, and everyone gets a new experience. So, I started creating the game, with the idea of making up everything on the spot, like the story, puzzles, gameplay and so on, because this is the perfect way of creating your first big game. That was a huge issue in the future. My main knowledge in game creation comes from Godot. It is amazing and really easy to learn, but I didn't go for Godot this time. I chose something else. I didn't like Epic Games because of the weird decision to withhold titles from me and my precious Steam account. I hated them so much because of that I rather waited a year for my favorite game Borderlands 3 instead of buying it at their store. I didn't even consider their free monthly games just because I didn't want the Epic Games launcher on my computer. But then the unthinkable happened. I noticed how expensive game assets are. Like, damn, 300 euros for some houses and trees? Well, hello Epic Games and welcome to my system with your monthly free high quality game assets. At the same time, Unreal Engine 5 was announced and I was hyped. Tried it out and noticed that my dusty GTX 9070 was literally dying just loading a simple scene. Now, I had two options. I either optimized the game so it would run on lower hardware and improve the experience for thousands of players, or I spent 1,200 euros on a new RTX 3090 and ignored the performance issues.
Say hello to my baby, just look how cute it is.
Making a game is very easy. We preload our first person template and then we... Oh no, it looks completely different from Godot. It is still node based, maybe I can find everything I need. Oh, I couldn't. Damn. Looks like I will need to read the extensive documentation and learn step by step how to use the engine. But I'm no nerd. Therefore, I just watched hours of tutorials and tried things out until I thought I was good enough. It all went well at the beginning, until I reached my first big enemy. Networking in Unreal Engine. I still, to this day, do not understand what I'm doing. I just know that everything you do with the networking should just be in the player character. Don't ask me why, just put everything in there and it hopefully works. There is this amazing book just about networking in Unreal. But I'm not a nerd, so I'm not reading that. So, I started to create some puzzles, which I will not show here to avoid spoilers. In the beginning it was relatively easy to come up with new interesting scenarios and ideas, but it got way harder after I completed my third puzzle. My mind was just empty, and no matter how hard I tried, in the end it doesn't even matter, and I was not able to come up with new things. Okay, I'm stuck now and can't continue. And since I cannot continue, it is time to do something else, like finding people to playtest with. And what a coincidence that at the same time we had a LAN party at our place. So I just took two of the boys and let them play and noticed how hard the puzzles were. And damn boy, he thick and had many bugs. After the play session was over, I was devastated. But the boys had many ideas how to improve the game and how to create new, interesting scenarios. The game got bigger and bigger, and I started to have a new main issue. All the networking interactions of the players stopped working. And until this point, I have not saved my progress in days. What the hell is going on? Well, my networking code was horrible, and it took me multiple hours just to debug that, and it should have worked. At one point, I have even rewritten most of the code, and then I noticed something interesting. When the players are nearby, the interactions started to work again. But as soon as they were far apart, it stopped. Well, because the game unloaded the damn character for the other person, just because of the distance. What the hell? Now, how do I fix that? There's like literally a button to prevent that. I just looked it up, and it's called Always Relevant. Well, you learn every day something new in Unreal Engine, but this thing frustrated me a lot. It took me multiple hours, maybe even days, I can't remember. It just was a horrible experience. This is what happens if you don't read the documentation and just try out stuff. But hey, I'm not reading any documentation. Then the worst thing happened. I started to hate my game. Compared to other games, it just looked bad. Every time I just looked at it, I thought about how much time I wasted. And it's not even fun to play, so why do I even bother? Therefore, I just stopped working on it after 4 months. Solo indie game development can be a rewarding experience, allowing creators to have complete control over their projects and bring their unique visions to life. However, it is not without its challenges. One of the biggest challenges of solo indie game development is the workload. Developing a game, even a small one, can be a huge undertaking. From designing and coding the game to creating the art and the music, the sheer amount of work can be overwhelming for a single person. Well, in retrospect, I just overworked myself, spending most of my day on top of my regular working hours just working on my game, while replaying the same puzzle over 200 times. It was just too much for me. So I took a 3-week break and did nothing. When I came back, I noticed the game isn't that bad, it is actually good. So I got my motivation back to complete it. If you're interested in playing it, I will be releasing it for free. It will be probably released at the beginning of next year, and well, that's it. Thanks for watching, maybe consider subscribing, and have a nice day.